guys both are presenters now, so the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. So yeah, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you're being connected from. It is my great pleasure to be presenting to you today, along with my colleague and friend Nasir.
Hello, everyone.
Today, I just want to take a moment just to thank you and for taking time out of your Saturday and and being present today in our sessions. It just demonstrates the true commitment and enthusiasm that it's driven by obviously your curiosity and eagerness to learn more. So my name is Jonathan Lopez, and I've worked for the past 5 years in the industry solution division in Microsoft, and specifically working with enterprise clients developing solutions using Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. And yeah, today really represents a very special day for us, for Nasir and myself. And I want to thank the organizers for inviting us and for giving us this opportunity to meet all these great community of IT enthusiasts, and hopefully someday we can, we can have a session in person, right? So that would be something interesting that I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna let Nasir, please, if you can just quickly come off mute and present yourself, and then I'll get started with the agenda.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone, and thanks, Jonathan, for the intro. So, my name is Nasir. I have been working with Microsoft for the past 6 years, primarily working on Dynamics 365 Power Platform in the same industry solution division. Very passionate about, Microsoft platform and technologies and all the good things that it brings. I have presented at this conference before as well, both in person when it was in person pre-COVID as well, and really hoping we can get together again in person sometime. But right now we have some interesting stuff to share with you, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Nasir. And yeah, like Nasir said, we do have a tight agenda today that we're gonna go through. So let me quickly go to my next screen here. So yeah, what we want to talk about today, it's some of the features that we've been working on in Microsoft for real-time marketing. So we're gonna go through, what real marketing is. Then we're gonna go as well through some customer orchestration. We're gonna show you some customer journeys and how events and things that happen in real life actually get get an action, or you can trigger actions in your system to perform other different tasks or something that could help your marketing department. I'm going to talk a little bit as well about the difference between the outbound marketing and the real marketing. So as some of you guys may know, outbound marketing, it's a product that we sort of replace our old time CRM marketing that we have in versions from, it started from CRM4, then 2011, then 2013, right? And then after that went when we started introducing the Power Platform as part of the apps that we were developing, we also introduced the outbound marketing, and I'll talk to you a little bit about those differences, so you guys can have a little bit more context. Then we're gonna go into the actual fun part of this session that I'm gonna let my friend Nasir Ron. So he's gonna, show you some interesting and cool stuff that you can do with the real-time marketing, and he's gonna go and create some journeys, and he's gonna go through kind of some of that process. Using the real-time marketing, and then at the end we're gonna also show you some of the things that would come back as part of our feedback or as part of our insights that we have once we have deploy our journey, and once our contacts have gone through that journey. So we're gonna also take a peek on that. So without further ado, I want to start talking about what actually real time marketing is. So it's basically kind of like the ability, obviously the name implies, to market to your customers in real time, and this is based on actions or interactions they take. We have certainly we have already triggers that come out of the box, with these package or these application, right? But we can also develop our own triggers. So for example, if a customer is checking a specific website, or if a customer checks in, for example, in an event, using one of the QR codes that we produce, right? All of those things are interactions that happen in the real world, right? And that could trigger some actions, for us to do, like maybe sending a text message, or sending a reminder email, or stuff like that, right? That would kind of ensure probably your event is a bit more successful, or it reaches more audience, right? There's also triggers like dates, right? That maybe an expiration date again, or something that happens in the system that could trigger these kind of actions that you would be able to to configure in the system, and Nasir would walk us through that. The next thing I want to talk to you about, it's customer orchestration. Um, so customer orchestrations is nothing but it's about coordinating your customers' experiences in real time. It kind of like we mentioned, this aims to be more responsive in how you basically you engage your customers, and it's kind of providing them a more personalized, I would say, a more relevant and more intelligent offers or experiences, right? So you could maybe do some upsales, or suggest some things or some products based on some actions, some interactions that your customer may take. um, the customer journey orchestration connects different technologies in the Microsoft platform, technologies, and of course data that can help you plan the next steps, um, with a relationship that you would have with your customer, right? So um, it really can have a quite a bit of effect on your customer journey, on your marketing journey, that rather than just simply communicating or just simply sending an email out uh, based on a segment, right? It really provides a way to create very very personalized or very dynamic, and probably I would say more useful, um, more useful engagements, right? Um, so yeah, that's basically kind of like in a nutshell what the customer orchestration is. Again, it's all depending on real world interactions, right? And it's about ensuring that you can respond to your customers immediately, and kind of do that personalization, right? Of emails, or personalizing what you're offering, right? Not just some random thing, but really truly trying to get to know more about your customer, and how is interacting with your products. Um, the other thing I want to talk about a little bit, it's about the kind of like the difference for those who have already worked with our product before, with the outbound marketing. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the differences in those two areas, outbound marketing and real time marketing. So a lot of differences come with customer journeys. So customer journeys are called in outbound marketing, and basically it starts when the journey goes live and it's set up by date. But it's also related to a specific audience, right? So a segment of your customers, those are the ones you are targeted for that for that customer journey, right? So for example, you could say my contacts that are in Ontario and they are more than 40 years old, right? For example, that could be a segment, or customers who have like certain product or have show interest or have subscribed to a certain newsletter, right? Those type of things are called segments that you can do basic configurations or filters around your contacts and target that specific list. Journeys in real time, on the other hand, you can do both, right? So you can do marketing that are based on events, right? So again, like we've talked about, things that happened in the in the out world, in the real world. uh, Whenever you go into that booth and you bring your QR code, or maybe an airline and you bring your checking pass, right? That checking into your flight or checking into an event, right? Those things trigger actions, right? And we've seen it um, many times in real life as well. That sometimes we don't even we don't even think about, right? Again, like my example about checking into your flight, right? You go, you check in, and there's a bunch of things that happen on the background, now that you have done that specific click, right, or that specific trigger of an action. Um, Emails as well. That's something that you should be aware of, that are different between real-time marketing and outbound marketing. From a template perspective, or from the way you construct the email, it's basically the same. The engine that we have, it's the same, right? But now it's in two different areas. So that's something as well you should be considering in case you are considering this product. This is just a quick screenshot about the couple of journeys. So again, this is what I was talking about. In the left hand side, you gotta this is the way you would create a journey, right? So you can see here that they're event based, or you can also do segment based, like you used to do in the outbound marketing, right? And this is event based on real time customer actions, like we've talked about. And in here, you would select an event trigger, right? So those event triggers could be maybe an email that has bounced back, or again, someone clicks something in your website, or they register into an event, right? Those things are triggers, and you could create those journeys based on that trigger. So again, we have combined a lot of technologies in here with these journeys is not just here. This is actually based as well in Power Automate. So there's some Power Automate flows that we have in the back that allows you to perform these these kind of actions. And then on the right hand side, we have the outbound, right? So this is kind of like the typical way you would do a customer journey. Again, kind of like first picking your segment, right? And then you can do actions, right? Whether send an email, or you can also have branches, right? So if something happens, or if there's you know um, some actions as well, so you can do some splits and some wait fors or delays in this type of customer journeys. We're gonna go to the demo. I'm gonna allow some time for Nasir as well to go through the demo. After that, we also want to have leave some time for you guys to have some questions and maybe some feedback. We would allow some time at the end to you know, to go through your questions, whatever that may be. Okay, so I'm gonna let the floor for Nasir. I'm gonna stop presenting now, and I'm gonna let Nasir blow it away. Thank you so much, Nasir.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. And as Jonathan mentioned, we are going to demo the capabilities of Dynamics 365 marketing, specifically how real-time marketing can work. For everyone's attention, this application or Dynamics 365 as application uses the power of the platform, of the Power Platform. So as Jonathan mentioned, it uses, the flows, it uses the Dataverse, it uses the Power Automate feature. All of those are basically utilized by this application, which will actually show you the power the platform has in terms of making things automated for you. We can bring in, future-wise virtual agents and other capabilities in this application as well. So this application is basically running off of the Power Platform and its components, just so everybody knows. So basically, when I go through the item, I wanted to give an idea about what the marketing is. So marketing basically is composed of, in general, three different areas where you have something to communicate to an audience. You reach out to that audience through email. You want to reach customer on different devices, but they may have different channels like phones, they may have emails, and you wanted to actually capture their responses or the events that they are performing and analyze based on that response your further marketing strategy. So that is in the gist what marketing is all about, whether you are doing it in real time or not. And that is what this application allows. It allows you to create very good, inspiring emails. It allows you to create your journeys where you can target those audience through those journeys. And in response that you get based on those interactions, you can actually capture those responses and get reports like Power BI reports and other reports based on those responses. So that's what it is. One of the things that we have done for the demo purposes is that we have created an event in the system. We called it Power Platform Bootcamp. So this is our event. Dynamics allow you to create an event within the system. You can actually add sessions, speakers, everything that is right there. And when you do that, it actually automatically creates a landing page based on that. So what we did for demo purposes is we have actually created a Power Platform Bootcamp page of a portal that allows people to register for this. So this is one of the first thing that we did, and we have already done that for the demo purposes. The second stuff that we need to do in terms of real marketing is to define a journey or to reach out. So systems allows you to create emails. So what we have done in the system is that we have actually created some emails that are sort of emails regarding the welcome. So suppose if we want people to register through the email, we have created an email where we capture from our database of users their first name. So we have a list of users who have actually shown interest to participate, or they may not have registered as well. But basically, we send out those emails, and once they register, we actually see that in principle when they register, how they are going to register, and then they can register through this. They can go to the event page. And people, when they register or when they provide a certain response, we actually get analytics based on that, that how many emails we have sent, how many have been delivered, how many people have actually opened the emails. We can get some more details that if there are emails that have bounced back, it will come here based on the interaction, how many things have been open, whether user can click on any area that we are targeting for marketing. All of those sort of details can be made available right here. So I'm going to show how a journey looks like. Basically, what we do is that we create a journey in the system where we create an event registration, and anybody who register for the event will basically receive an email, a thank you email for registering. And that's what the journey we have created. We have created another bootcamp journey where anybody, if they register for the event, they get sent text message which will say, okay, thank you for registering for the event. To confirm your participation, press yes and no, and then it sends an email as well. So basically what we have done is that we are targeting different channel of communication, like phone as well as emails, and we are triggering them based on an action, a real-time action of user being added right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go into the journey registration page that I just shown. And I am going to register. So this is a live website, live registration. And I am going to say demo user, demo registration. And then I'm going to provide an email address. And I'm going to, so there is some CAPTCHA information so that it's not robot, and that's all available out of the box within the system. I'm going to very quickly show later on how you can create an event page. And I actually registered for it. As soon as I register for this particular event, within a system, you will find few things. After a while, I'm going to get a text message. So I just got a text message. I'm going to share basically sign in if I can share my phone. So I am going to go up. Let me know if you're able to see the screen. It's going to take some time. And I'm sharing my phone now.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, and basically, if you see this these messages, you see that, dear Nasir, thank you for registering at the 2022 Power Platform Bootcamp. To confirm your assistance, please respond yes to this message. So this is one of the channel how this is generated based on the automated journey on registration of the event. So that is one item. And then if I again broadcast my screen, I'm gonna see the email. Right here. And you're going to see. So dear demo user, thank you for registering. This is the Power Platform Bootcamp. And then, you can allow user to unsubscribe for that email as well. So this email has come through, and it actually takes me to the event page. So if people want to, so here it goes. This is the actual event page that is for our Power Platform Bootcamp. It actually goes in so people can do different things right here. So using the Dynamics marketing application, we have created an event-based trigger that actually do all of those stuff associated. So that's what we have done. We have automated in the system. Now, when we do that, we actually get the analytics. And if you see the analytics, you see that this event has been registered by 3 unique people. It actually gives you the details of, there are 3 emails that have been sent, 2 have been delivered, 1 may be in process. If you want to get the details, you can click on delivery and interaction details, and you'll see that there are multiple type of people it has been going into at different times. And you can see what those contacts are. You can create those interactions right here. And not only that, it actually, if this record is not in your system, this is going to create a contact record for you. So you see right here, demo user, demo registration. I just created it from the public website, but what it has done is that it has automatically created a contact for you in the system. And not only that, you will see all the events that that contact has attended because he has registered for Power Platform Bootcamp. And you are going to see the insights later on associated with a contact. So this person has basically registered for the event, and these are the interactions that he have right here. Because right now there's only certain things that he has done, what I can do is that I can open one contact and show you what insights look like. So you see, it is the whole timeline. If a person has registered for the event, if they are canceling their registration, if they are actually registering again, checking into any session, all of these things can be good. And then there's a total chart that you see that how many registration has been canceled by this person, how many times this person has registered, but also checked into the system. So it actually gives you all the charts associated with that. And this is all using the Power Platform and Dataverse from the backend, because that's the data, that's the inside data that it takes into play. So all of those interactions, you get these pretty cool details. If there are any emails sent from this, you will further send. So suppose if you have sent out an email and this person is forwarding any email, so you're going to get all those details related to this person right here as well. You see event check-in, the time. Not only that, when a person actually registered for the event, it creates a registration record as well. So if I go in and look into this registration record, you're going to see the QR that is generated as well. And this QR can be printed off to provide to the registration. And when this person is using this QR code, they can actually sign into the event or and I know these QR codes were pre-COVID, but people can actually use it in even virtual settings to check into the sessions and other stuff. So that is how this whole system is created and work around with the system. So that's what the real-time actual email is. What I want to show very quickly is that how easy it is to create it in the system using this. So first thing first is that we go into event planning and we just press the new button, and then we create an event. So we call it, let's suppose we'll call this event a demo event. And all we have to do is when we define it as a conference or a training, and we just save this record. We can create a Teams meeting directly from this. We can create a Teams meeting if we want to. And you'll see that it's asking me to sign on because it's a different application. But it seamlessly integrates with Microsoft Teams, all of your other data related to it, and then you can define a start time or an end time of this. You can say whether this is an incurring event. Not only that, you can define agenda. So you can define an agenda, you can add a session within a system easily. So any today, so if I go into Sunday, I can actually create an own session right here. If I click and I say session 1, and then do you want to stream the session? You can do it a Teams meeting. It will create another team meeting for you. And then this session is right here. You can define different session tracks. You can define speakers engagement and other stuff, website and form. If you have a custom event URL, you can use that. Otherwise, it's going to automatically create. You can put a lock on the registrations that people can only register until the registration event end date or whatever. And all you have to do is press save. And when you do a save status, did we create a session as a webinar type?
Looks like there were some required fields that we just needed to enter, but
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. So it looks like there are some required fields that we wanted to interpret, and I'm not sure why it was like this, but we were able to save it. So now all you have to do is if it's you go live with it. As soon as you go live with it, you'll see the publish status as going live, and then it will take some time, and now it is live. Now, if you go into the general side, you will see event URL is generated. And when you click on it, you'll basically see the event has been created, which can be sent through email to users, and they can actually register for the event. So this is what the registration email is. People, when they are able to see this event, they can register, and you see that they will have the ability to define their first name, last name, email address. They have the ability to add other attendees. You can take it off and then check out. When they do that, it actually creates contact for you. So we will call demo contact 5. We will just put in email address. And we check out, and this person has just registered for the event. And when we go into the registration and attendance, after a while, what you're going to find is that there is a registration that has been created. Not only that, the system has actually created a contact information record right away. So this is the event creation. What happens is that when you do a real-time marketing, you actually create an email. So creating an email is very easy. You can say, okay, I want to create an email. And we can use templates. There are multiple templates that are available, 1-column letter, 2-column letter. We have created bootcamp email template and event registration template. So we can use these existing email template, and we select it. So it will say, okay, dear Mr. This, welcome to the Power Platform Bootcamp, and they can register and other stuff. And all you have to do is define that ready to send, and this email is ready to be used to be sent. You can have dynamic values. You can choose your sender, whatever details are there. This is where these emails are. Not only that, you can actually check the quality of this email through spam checker, whether this logo is good, whether what size type of risk is this. It will have basically all those details. So if you are including things that are that should not be part of general emails, or it is more likely to go into junk of people, you will actually get something. You will have the accessibility checker. We have the trial version right now, so it may not be available, but accessibility is very important at Microsoft right now. And we may, when we are reaching out to different people or audience, we wanted to make sure that most of the people will have their preferences or their details. It's easier for them to access. So that's where the accessibility checker come into play, the use of color, the use of fonts, and whether this email is accessible. When we create these emails, the next step to us is to create a journey. And what we do in the journey, that's where the trigger come in. So we call the journey a demo journey, and we start capturing all the real-time events. Now, there are multiple real-time events. People can register for the event, so we call it event registration. We call it event registration. If those contact has basically gone into your site and updated their email address, it will actually trigger a response or an item for you. People can actually do event registration, other stuff associated, and all you have to do is to create, and then you add an event. So you can send an email, send a test message, you can do a push notification. So I wanted to do a send email. All I have to do is select the email that I have created, and that's it. And then I save and publish this. As this journey becomes live, every action that users start taking that are in your database, you will have the ability to start capturing those interactions and the data related to it. So those are the details on how these items work. Because these items actually take some time, because they go into the Power Platform, they try to gather the data from the Dataverse, they use the customer insight technology to generate the interaction. It takes a time to get that data. So what we have done is that we actually have created live journey for you previously, so that people will get the insights on what they are. Not only that, we have different types of dashboards that are available, marketing dashboard, which actually tells you the detail on what people are doing. So, we have different emails going around, different events. You will have how many active marketing emails you have, over time, how many have been created, who have been, how many have been modified. All sort of those things work for you. Even if you go to event management dashboard, you will see multiple data associated. So we have created different type of events. Per month, how many events we are creating, it is keeping track of that. What is an active event right now? How many people have checked in and registered you are going to take count of it, so you can do that as well. So all of those details are getting captured in different areas through this application. Not only that, you can use, and right now our Power BI report is not there because it will take time or other stuff, but you can use the Power Platform power and capabilities to actually create your own Power BI report. And these Power BI reports get refreshed based on the data and other stuff. So seamless integration, seamless ability to capture your data that you are capturing with this and go from there. So that's what the real-time marketing is. in terms of reaching out to customer and gathering data. 3 items: you identify your audience, you reach out to them through email, and you automate the process through the journeys and capture interaction.
One other thing I want to just add, Nasir, thank you very much. You know, on the real-time marketing, when you create those journeys, right? You create it based on events or based on segments. When you choose if you try to go with the event route, right, you're gonna see that you have to pick a trigger. We provide out of the box, the platform provides some of those triggers that Nasir was showing you. That doesn't mean or doesn't stop you also from creating new triggers, right? So you can create something plugging into your website or buttons or something that get clicked at a certain time, right? And those are also could be triggers that you could plug into here, right? And
Very,
we
very true. And thanks for. So there are multiple, ready to use event triggers that are there: email address opt out, email blocked, email bounce. But it doesn't stop you of creating your own trigger. So if you want to create an own trigger, you can absolutely do that. So you can actually set it up. You can integrate it with the code, and then mark it as ready to use. It creates those code snippets that you can provide to your web development team, which can basically involve on their web page, and you can actually use that to capture interactions and events of your audience. So absolutely, it's all allowed here.
There's also one question on the chat window, Nasir. Maybe we can go through it now. It says, for the SMS channel, does Journey deal with yes, no response? What about non-responses? So basically, yes, those are called engagement, right? So one of the things that Nasir show in those dashboards is how engaged you get your customers, for example, talking about the
Absolutely.
non-responses, right? The yes, no route, we do have something in the SMS journey where you can basically track where a link, if there's a link within that SMS, or maybe you can embed some link between the yes and the link in the no, and that way sort of route these into different things, right? If
Yeah.
it's a yes, maybe do some other actions on that branch, right? If it's a no,
Yeah.
then do some other actions
And
on that branch, right?
I can certainly explain. Thanks, Jonathan. Very detailed answer. So right now we have created a text that doesn't have any links associated with it. But when you are actually crafting your SMS and other stuff, you can create those links. And based on that response selection, you can actually do a yes, no. So right now, if I go into, let's suppose, a demo journey, and I'm going to just show you an example. If I select send a text message, and if my selection it has the ability to do a yes and a no. And depending on if your user has selected yes, you can actually respond to that action. If a user has not even responded, then you can, after 30 days, select a message to remind them again, or do that again. So those are all the options that are available within the system. It allows you to define the time limit and other details associated with it.
Great, thank you so much, Nasir.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Henry, for asking.
Yeah, great question. Thanks.
Any other questions from the audience? Was super well explained then.
Yeah, yeah, and this marketing application has two areas. One is real-time marketing, which is event-based marketing, which means that whoever is your audience being reached out, if they are doing certain stuff, then it's basically defining the data. The second item is basically outbound marketing, where you actually target your audience, you create your segments, you query their data, So it's about targeting the right audience. But when that audience is targeted, any actions or any events they are triggering, they can be basically managed on their real-time marketing, and then you can work with them. So that's how that's the major difference between these two. Not only that, because we have a Power BI report that takes time to generate, but what we have is like a screen capture of the report on how you can actually create the report based on that, and we can show you. So this is how a Power BI report can look like. Total journeys, what's the inflow, what is your engagement rate, which Henry, to answer your question, Jonathan actually used this terminology, and it can be of any channel. It can be on SMS, it can be on email, and then you see that how people have been participating. When you are actually targeting your audience, what's the rate, when you are, and what's the event. So all of those details you can actually capture through the Power BI report and get your details around it.
Right. Thank you, Nasir. Yeah, it's all about providing, the marketers the right tools for them to, to operate. Obviously, it's going to be their duty to, pick the right times, whether which channel are going to be using, right? Maybe for some journeys and SMS, it's maybe too much, right? It's maybe too invasive, right? But maybe there's other cases where there's something you don't want to miss, right? Maybe a doctor's appointment, maybe your COVID vaccination appointment. Those things that they're important for you not to miss, right? That's where the marketer comes in and starts looking for the right channels for that specific event to be successful, right? It's about, again, having the right balance of how much emails you're going to be sending, right? And all those things can be also be part of your journey, right? Don't do over email someone, right? And maybe you can have a trigger in there and update something in the contact, so it can excludes them for doing more communication within certain time, right?
And with that being said, do remember this application is works in compliance with all the anti-spam legislations and CASL. So in Canada, we have a legislation which is called Canada Anti-Spam Legislation, which means that every email that a person gets, they should have the ability to unsubscribe from that, and that response is recorded. So basically, you cannot send a marketing email through this application if you don't provide the user with the unsubscribe option. And as soon as they unsubscribe, even if they are part of your journey or part of your audience, the system won't send an email. It will automatically trigger on the contact that this contact has refused to be received more emails. So though that part is also automated, and it works with the compliance on these details, and that will be triggered in your reports as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We also have other checks and balances as well, as to, for example, emails won't be sent out if you don't have an actual physical address, in there, right? So there's an area that we have in the product where you have to actually put your company address in there, so you're able to send those emails out, right? So those things as well, like Nasir, cleverly pointed out. Right, it's some of those check and balances that are baked within the product as well. Oh, hello, Ashraf. We cannot hear you. I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, there you go.
Hi, Jonathan. Thank you so
Hello.
much, you and Nasir, for this informative, exciting session. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing your knowledge and experience with the group here. Appreciate it.
No, it was our pleasure.
Thank you.
It's really fun, and again, like I mentioned in you know, at the beginning of the session, I would really love to get together with you guys. Maybe we can have a, you know, an event on the Microsoft offices. I think that would be something
Absolutely.
pretty interesting to look
Absolutely.
at in the near future. So looking
Absolutely.
forward to that and
Same
to
here.
meet you all guys, not just
Thank
through
you.
a screen, but actually being able to shake hands with you guys.
Absolutely. We will be happy to have you here in Toronto. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Any other last question, guys, for those gentlemen before we wrap up this session? Maybe I can give you a quick break if you are okay with that before our next exciting session with the Power BI Tips team.
And kudos to the attendees, right? Because they did it right in the middle of lunch on a Saturday. So
yeah,
I wasn't
back-to-back exciting sessions. Yeah,
exactly.
Non-stop.
So okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a great,
Thank you,
have a great
everyone.
rest
Have
of
a
your
good
Saturday.
day.
You too.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Take care.
Bye-bye.